right, we are live. So thanks a lot everybody for joining again. And this is the third webinar with the 4thBlock founders, Udaya and Gaurav. This is going to be super exciting because we will be discussing Instagram Mastery 101, why your business needs Instagram stories. My name is Jakub, I'm CMO of PitchGround. I'll be hosting this webinar. And today, this will be just pretty awesome. So guys, why don't you start with a little explanation what we will be experiencing today and what we will learn, because I know that you prepared some pretty amazing materials for this webinar.
This is Udaya here.
Hi, Gaurav.
So today we'll be seeing, we'll walk you through what Instagram stories actually is. For a beginner, from a beginner's perspective, somebody who has not done Instagram stories prior, we'll walk you through what is Instagram stories, how you can actually create the stories, and how these stories will actually aid your businesses. So if a person attending this webinar for the next 30 minutes, we'll walk you, you will become from a beginner to a pro in the next 30 minutes with respect to Instagram stories.
That's perfect. So no matter what the business I'm in, I can basically just watch this webinar and it will give me all the insights I need to start using Instagram stories in my business.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So I see that you are joining. Hey, Mark. Hey, Uma. Hey, people on Facebook. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comment below, and we will answer them as soon as possible. After we will finish the topic, we will be answering all the questions. So, guys, I will ask you now to start sharing your screen and show the amazing presentation that you prepared.
And
I can see your screen. Amazing.
Perfect. Let's start with this. So what are we going to do is today's topic is Instagram Story Mastery 101, and it's me, Udaya here.
This is Gaurav.
Gaurav will walk you through what Instagram stories are, how you can get up to speed and use Instagram stories right after this presentation is done. Let's go. Okay. First, let's answer the cardinal question. What are Instagram stories? If you had known, Instagram stories is actually a simple, quick way to share your content with your audience in a rapid succession. Then think about it. We have all experienced slideshows on the web. A slideshow is a set of moving images or videos using which you can consume a large amount of content in rapid succession. Think of slideshows. Now imagine slideshows done beautifully for your mobile views. That is what a story is. So here, if you can see my screen, I've just shown you how stories are actually seen on your mobile phones, right? You can see Mahora, Nas, Devi, Yao, all these small thumbnails on my screen. Each individual unit represents a story, right? And what is a story composed of? A story is composed of continuous set of posts of images, text, or video. But the beauty of stories is, unlike regular posts, they have a time limit to it. You have to watch them and consume that content within the next 24 hours, after which they are posted, or else they're not. Right?
It creates a good FOMO, fear of missing out, and that's why people are actually waiting for the stories, and they just wanna follow the people and watch their stories because they're afraid that they will just disappear and they will miss out on the content they shared.
They will. So the chances of people logging into the application increases exponentially, right? Instead of once a week, or now you log in multiple times a day because you don't want to miss out on the action. But a little bit of context, historical context to stories. Stories were not originally invented by Instagram. It was a feature that was on Snapchat, which Instagram people, took it, copied it, and actually.
Well, they got inspired. Let's put it this way.
Storm says they got inspired, and they made it native for the Instagram application. And so the question is, why should you make stories and why it should matter to you? Instagram stories alone on a daily basis has about 500 million active users. That's literally 500 million people out there are consuming story content, right? And another interesting feature is with respect to stories, the intent to buy is very high compared to a normal post that we see on an Instagram feed. If you see, the stats say that about 72% of users have purchased a product which they have seen in a story format. So this stat is very important to somebody who is running an Instagram store, selling items or even selling services for that matter. Then next interesting thing about stories is here stories gives an option to a small business owner to compete with the big brands. How is that? One, you post content on a regular basis, automatically Instagram algorithm rewards you by pushing your content to the front of a user's feed. So the chances of more people consuming your content goes up. Interestingly, if you do not post content on a regular basis, what happens is your content gets pushed behind and chances of your content being consumed by your audience goes down. So depending on how much content you post, you either get rewarded or punished by the Instagram algorithm.
All right, so you're saying that we should be posting on a regular basis. What is the regular basis? How often we should post stories?
Ideally, right, you should post once every day. Basically, you should create one story every day so that at least people who are your followers, right, they see your thumbnail in their feed once, right, so that they have an option of, coming back to you. But like the more the merrier, basically, you can post as many times as you want, but like make sure that, you have one piece of content every day for your users to, to go through. So yeah, minimum once a day.
Minimum once a day. But interesting things is the more the Gaurav said this, more the merrier. Absolutely. Post as much as content as possible. I mean, relevant content as much as possible, and get those eyeballs which you don't really pay for, right. Or else end up paying Instagram, a Facebook ad network to get those eyeballs. Now just repurpose your content to get those eyeballs, which otherwise you would be ending up paying a lot of money for.
That's right.
The important thing is to make your stories and any content for that matter, but specifically so for stories, you want it to be very super relevant for your audience, right? So for example, if you're running an e-commerce store, just like try to figure out what is the best product that you have available, or like you have a discount running, right? So what is sort of content that is super relevant for your users for the next day? So something like you have to put in some thought in creating these stories, right? And make sure that the content quality is high. All that goes into making sure that your rankings in the feed go up. So if people stay, so for example, if it's a 15-second story and like people watch the entire thing, of course, right, your stories rank goes up, and more people Instagram, more people are your way. So they have to be super relevant. You have to be you have to post every day. So these are like this is the two-prong attack, right, that you have to do if you want to capture your audience mind share.
Gary Vaynerchuk is saying that you should be posting 25 times a day.
Absolutely. What we would people have this word. It's called run a train. A train of barrage of stories coming into your audience feed. If you have a sale going on, tell them. If you have a discount going on, tell them. If you have a new product launch, tell them. If you're feeling bored, tell it to them. Your audience want to know everything about you. There is an option, go ahead. Another important reason why every business should be using Instagram stories is all your competitors are using Instagram stories. Everyone from mom and pop shops to big brands, all of them are creating these stories right now. If you aren't creating these stories, then you are missing out on huge piece of real estate, and those eyeballs which can potentially convert into dollars is just going down the drain.
You're talking all the time about Instagram stories, but I mean there are more platforms you can push stories as well. I mean you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Messenger. I think WhatsApp is doing stories right now as well, and at some point YouTube is doing stories as well. So I see like all the big brands, all the big companies are coming from the horizontal format to vertical because people consume content on their phones.
No, that is true. We have a saying in our way, me and Gaurav have this saying that motivates us a lot. We say, vertical video is the future. We are going in the right direction.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, moving on. So let's start with the most simple way how you can create an Instagram story. And another, how do you create an Instagram story, right? If you see the screenshot attached over there next to the, once you open your Instagram app, you have at the top you have a camera icon and you have your story with a small blue icon. All your users need to do is just click on that particular icon. Automatically, your full camera opens up. In that camera, what you can possibly do is you can take a photograph, you can record a video, or you can upload a photo or a video from your own gallery. That is the first step. Click on the plus icon, add the content, and after which you can add links, hashtags, locations, stickers, tag people, and even run polls. But as I mentioned, do not do all of this in one particular story.
I mean, Instagram is still pushing more and more like these stickers. I mean, like almost every month or every 2 months, there are some new features in the stories, and they are focusing heavily on stories. Just recently, they released chat feature. Did you notice, guys?
Absolutely, yes.
It's amazing. I already tested it. It's basically that you just open the story and you will give call to action to people. Hey, you can click here and join me in our DM group. So it will create a DM group of people who want to chat together. And you can do it with stories. And I tested it. It's crazy, like how quickly you can connect all these people in one place.
Absolutely. One of the gripes that people had with stories earlier was that, hey, I want to know what my other friends think about the stories, right? Now you have a chat option, go there inside the group. Now discuss all you want about that particular post. So then as soon as you have created this story and you're happy about it, all of this is set, then you have to hit on the send button. After you hit on send, Instagram gives you an option either to share it with your close friends or send it to an individual or post it publicly to across all your followers. Ideally, if you're a business, you're going to go and share it publicly with all your followers. And done, you've posted your first story.
That's really easy.
Okay, so basically, the next thing is like you need to be aware that who has seen your story. So Instagram provides some sort of basic analytics on who has seen your story. So you can see how many times each posted story has been viewed and like who has viewed it. So you can swipe and like there is this as is shown in the screenshot, right? You can click on that and like once you do that, you get the who's who of who has been through your story, so you can get that kind of analytics. It's fairly limited right now. I mean, like of course we want more data, like how many times was it viewed, or like how much time people are spending. But that sort of data is, I don't think it's
not available.
So yeah, but like even this, right, like gives you an idea that who are your most engaged users. Are the users coming back? Are like is it the same users who are coming back or new users who are coming back? So all those things you can sort of figure out using this.
Perfect.
So when you post a story, it's no longer just shouting into the void. This gives you some basic level analytics, but you know how many people are seeing it and who these people are, which is great, right? Compared to the other alternative.
Do you know the number, like we should have like the percentage of people who will see the story from our followers. Let's say that we have 1,000 followers on our Instagram page. Do you think like 100, 200, 300 people is good, or?
Anywhere from 15 to 25% of your followers, if they see your minimum of 15%, a maximum of 25 is a good range to be in. But more than 25, you are killing it.
Okay. I mean, because imagine, like it's almost not almost, it is like with the push of a button, you can speak directly to hundreds or even thousands or 100,000 of people if you're big enough. Like Gary Vaynerchuk, I mean, he just posts and immediately he has a huge attention. Like within a second, he can convert this traffic and do whatever they want, or the wine or the shoes, whatever it is. It's really quick. It's really quick compared, for example, to crafting the post on LinkedIn or crafting the post on Facebook or running ads or whatever. You just post it and that's it. You can communicate with your audience.
Yes.
So moving on. So another thing, earlier you had made a point about stickers. We all know stickers are a big thing. Some of us love it, some of us hate it, but we have to live with it. Those are stickers. Instagram has gone into the habit of creating these new sticker packs for every occasion, maybe a month. There is 4th of July coming up. There is St. Patrick's Day or some other festivities like Christmas, for example. They release these sticker packs, and people, for majority, seem to love using the sticker packs to express themselves, right? If our audience like it, then it's only fair that we give it to them. So how do we use stickers in our stories, right? One, create your story as you would normally create it, as we had mentioned it earlier. As soon as you create the story, look up for a small smiley icon at the top, right? There will be a small smiley icon. Click on it and you have access to the screenshot that I've shared in this particular slide. All these variety of stickers are there. Just select whichever you want, which is relevant to that particular content. For example, let's assume your sale is going to end in 24 hours. You can just pull a sticker saying that going soon, tomorrow it's gone, something like that. There will be
That's smart.
put it out there, let the content be more engaging. Right?
Yeah.
Personalize it as much as possible. Then another thing, what if a sticker you have added, you don't like it? Fear not. What you can possibly do is just click on that sticker, drag it back. There will be a pin icon, just drop it there, change it to whichever sticker you would like, and again post. You're good to go.
All right. Okay.
Right. And then, a very interesting feature about Instagram is that, it can let you run polls inside in the story format. So basically, after you've taken a photo or video, you can select the poll sticker. So poll is also like a sticker, but it's like more interactive in nature, right? So once you've tapped the poll sticker, it will Instagram will ask you, what kind of question and like, what kind of poll choices do you have, and once you've set it up, your poll is live. So now what will happen is, as soon as your story with the poll option is live, right, people can interact with your story. So for example, right, they just say that, in a story, you added 2 images, like, do you want this product or this product, and like, for example, do you want 15% discount or 25% discount, something like that, right? You can ask questions that are engaging and interacting. So instead of becoming a passive consumer of your content, they sort of come and engage with your content, and that sort of boosts your ranking and engagements even more.
Yeah. So
Okay.
imagine the amount of free user research one can possibly do with a small binary poll as the one that we see on the screen.
Oh,
Let's assume you want to create custom footwear, for example. Now you're confused. Do I want the red one or the white one? What will my customer want? Go ask your customers. Which one do you guys want, the red or the white? If they ask 50-50, make them both, sell it to them. Done.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a very interesting thing. It's an amazing tool you have used, right? Will yield to very high quality insights from real people who are actually, invested in your life and your products. That is amazing piece of information. No any other platform will even provide us with. So moving on. Now the question of Instagram story dimensions, right? What is the form in which a story should be? Ideally, a story takes up the entire real estate of your screen. An entire real estate of a full HD screen is going to be 1080 pix width and 1920 pix height. This is what we have shared a template, a story that was created using our 4thBlock tool, demonstrating it. If you see that sneaker shoe that is being displayed out here takes up the entire real estate, and you can actually present it to your audience that way. What we would the ratio is going to be 9:16. But the question you might think about is, hey, can I put a story which is lesser in size? I mean, not 9:16, maybe 4:5.
Yeah,
ratio.
Square video or like a horizontal, video if you have, right? Like, can we add those kind of videos? If your question is, like you're thinking that, I already have a video that is like 1:1, right? Can I share that on Instagram? Of course you can do, but like what we would say is like we would not recommend that, because like your video will be cropped or will be zoomed out, and that will not really look good. Ideally, right, you should have vertical formats. You can shoot them vertically, or like you can use a tool like ours, right, where we let you create videos like this. But we would recommend, right, for best results, use a vertical video that that like takes up the entire real estate on your phone.
Okay, and it makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, this is one of the most interesting, and brilliant features that was designed by Instagram. It's called Highlights. It's an original feature that Instagram has come up with. Let's call it that way. So what it does is, all these stories have a lifetime of 24 hours. You have put in a lot of effort to create the stories, but what happens after 24 hours? Poof, they're gone, right? So now what does Instagram allow you to do is, let's assume you are in the business of selling cell phone covers, right? Like this. So what happens? You've created a story, 24 hours later, it's gone. Now the question is, how do you actually make sure you are saving it for posterity? Instagram gives us an option called Highlights. Your profile, your business profile is your storefront, wherein which you can collect other stories which you have posted earlier, which is present in your archive, and pin it together to form all this. If you see, there is something called Magical out here, something called Happy Holiday, Coffee Time, Starry Heaven, Smile. All are these are called highlights, wherein which, let's assume Magical can be the bands that you created, stories around bands. Now you have strung it together to form a long form content, right? Another could be Happy Holidays, it could be greeting cards that you have created. All of them could be strung together to form another highlight. Highlights are what you call stories that do not have an expiry date.
Okay. So basically, to create the highlight, right, you select the new circle on the far left below, and like, in your profile, and then, from your archive, you can select as many story segments as you want to, so basically you create sort of a bunch of selections, right? And then, you can edit you can select basically the cover image for your highlight, right? What sort of image you want to go in the cover. And once you're done, right, your highlight will appear as a circle on your profile. That will sort of create a full screen story when someone taps on it. So that is the entire flow how we do it.
That's perfect.
So
okay.
Yeah, it's Instagram way of kind of making it up for the fact that, hey, we know you put in a lot of time to create your story, and after 24 hours it's gone. Don't worry, we're giving you an option to make sure that it's saved in your profile for other times when your customers want to consume it. It's there, right? Okay. So the last cardinal question comes up. Now we have understood what is a story and how do we create it, what all flavors that we can add to it to make it more interesting. Now the question comes is about what should we make a story about? What should be my story about? For a beginner, right? Someone who's starting out with Instagram stories, it might feel a little overwhelming at first, looking at all the interesting stories that are posted by the brands out there. So we will give you the step-by-step what we can possibly do to make sure that you create an amazing story. You can possibly use it as your roadmap of sorts, right? The first thing what we would recommend is, most businesses on Instagram are selling products or services. Hey, please recommend, create a story about your product or your service. What you intend to sell in front of your customer, create a story out of it. It can be a product, give it a name, give it an action to it, and that's about it. That could be your first story.
Right. And then, basically your audience, your customers, right, like your followers, they'd like, to know you as a person, right? Like, what do you do, right? So very interesting idea is to, show them a day in your life, right? Like record a video and doing, what you're doing, how do you work, how do you go about your things, right? Like, so the idea is to engage with your customers and have a more a deeper connect with your audience. So if you just go live and shoot a video explaining how your workspace looks like, or if you have a physical store, right, where you're selling products, what you can do is take them around or give them a tour or something like that, right? So this all makes for very interesting sort of vertical format content.
Yeah. So second, another thing what you can do is an interesting thing that's Instagram only. This is not something that it was designed for, but people have started using it in this way. It's called takeover. One day, your entire Instagram account can be taken over by
Oh yeah, I like this one. Yeah.
Another influencer. Imagine your customer is running your entire day's marketing. How would it be? This is absolutely fascinating. You would be able to, one, create original content comes up. Second, very interesting way, your own product that you have built is seen from another person's, other users.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, sets your Instagram account on fire. Like people feel participated, participate in your own story. And another way to look at is the kind of content that you create will never be on your roadmap, because people have so much of different perspectives on the same thing. The output usually is just extraordinary.
Right. Then after this, like something that is also very interesting and makes for a very good content on Instagram is like going live, right? So let's just say that you're going live with the product, or for example, like we are live right now, right? Something like this, it could as well go on Instagram as a live video. Like just go live, like like going live, I think it's like one of the low hanging fruits that you can do. You can go live for every day for 5 minutes, and like it's a very new thing that a lot of new age influencers are doing. They just go live and talk about what they're doing, what is coming up, right? And like you have a story that a content that users would like to see about. And if you keep going live every day, that sort of people start building the expectation starts getting built, right? That this Instagram handle is going to come online and speak live about things, right? And like more and more people will sort of start engaging and interacting with your content format. So going live on Instagram stories is also very interesting and unique idea that people should try.
So the next one that you can do is actually all of us have a way. For example, let's assume you are creating umbrellas or sneakers, right? You have a way how it should be used by the audience, right? Your customers, for example, and you can tell them, hey, for example, I'm selling sneakers out there. This sneaker, pair it with this Levi 511 denim with this particular crew neck T-shirt. This is going to look amazing. That is where we can show how the entire ensemble is going to be there. One. Second is fan content. Allow your users to create ensembles of their own. If you give them the option, hey, with my particular product, how will you actually do it? Look out for the post that they have posted of your product. Now repurpose the content onto your Instagram stories.
Right.
Yeah, what comes out will be fascinating and mind-blowing. Our users are so creative, they will more likely use it in ways in which none of us would have even imagined that this product could be used that way. And it makes up for very interesting content that can be consumed.
So we will basically use the user-generated content to create our content. Yeah, it's.
I mean, like for example, you're selling I don't know, a T-shirt or something like that, right? Like what if you ask for users, hey, we have this T-shirt, send us a picture back, right, and we'll host it on, like we'll post it on our handle. So then people sort of relate with like there are other guys like who are buying and they're looking good in these products, right? So I mean that makes for a very interesting watch.
Yeah. So interesting thing is there is a particular friend of mine who buys these sweaters in cold in winter temperatures. He buys these sweaters, but the guy does not. I've never seen him wear this sweater. He has this sweater. He takes his sleeves and he just ties it around his neck and he walks out everywhere. Right? That's fascinating. That is a use case.
Use case like your users might be using your products in different ways, right? And you might have like something in your mind, right? But once the product goes out in the hands of your users, they use it in 10 different ways. And like if you sort of bring them back into your channel and show other people that hey, this is our follower and like he's using our product in this way, that sort of makes very interesting and engaging content.
Yeah.
So that was what we had in this presentation. Basically, like what we tried to walk you through was how to get started with creating Instagram stories, and then we'd like to talk very briefly about our product. How do we you leverage 4thBlock to create Instagram stories? So all the things that we spoke about in the past 20 or 30 minutes or so, right? We are working on a tool that will let you create amazing interactive content very easily. See, the idea is that, you're competing with big brands who have a lot of money. They have in-house, professional video builders, professional video producers, professional artists, right, who spend a lot of time and like they're very highly paid.
Oh, yeah.
And then they create those videos, right? But our idea is that, if you're running a small shop, right, creating videos is not your strong suit, right? You should be focused on doing customer support, like bringing new products and like selling them. Or like, if you're selling a B2B service, right, and you're a smaller player, right, you cannot spend that kind of money on creating nicely professionally produced videos, right? So what we have done is we have created a simple tool that lets you create videos. And like creating videos in our tool is like as simple as filling out a form and like uploading a few images, right? So you don't need to be savvy, you don't need to learn After Effects, and like all you do is come to our site, upload a few images, give us some kind of information about your product, right? What is it price, something like that. Fill out a simple form and take home a video. And then the other interesting part is, let's just say that you're running a Shopify store, or you have a Facebook page, or you sell something on Amazon. All you have to do is you can like give us your URL. You can submit your URL on the 4thBlock and click. There's this one-click builder, product to video builder flow, where as soon as you submit your URL, we generate more than 50 to 60 automatically created, professionally produced videos with all your content, already pre-filled, right?
Yeah.
Review,
So let me quickly sum it all up. Basically, stories, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, basically vertical format is an amazing way to promote your brand in 2019 and beyond, because most of the people check their phones like this, and if you create a story, it will take whole the screen. But yet, it's quite difficult to create like high quality stories like big brands, because big brands have teams, they have resources, they have creatives, they have all the products, they have cameras. So for small business, for B2B, or for small e-commerce store, it's quite difficult to create high quality stories on a level that you would actually want to get. But there are ways how you can do it. First, you can either learn how to use Premiere Pro, After Effects, and do it yourself, which will take you a lot of time. Or you can hire a freelancer if you want, but you will pay a lot of money for one story. Or you can use like some sort of automated tool. And what these guys are doing, they are creating the 4thBlock, which is a tool where you will just paste the URL, for example, if you have an e-commerce store, and they will take the URL, they will scan the whole page, and they will take out all the pictures and everything you need to create a cool story, and they will put it into all the pre-made story templates, 50 to 60 story templates. And all you have to do is just customize them if you want, and download them, and you're ready to post. So you just paste the URL, and that's it. And you need to download and post them as well, but it's like push of a button, literally. So if you want to start creating stories in your business and really grow your business in a way that is like this day, one of the most relevant ways how you can do it, 4thBlock is an amazing tool how you can do it. And that's the first part. The second part is that we are running a lifetime deal for 4thBlock. So you can buy 4thBlock for one price, which would normally cost you like monthly or yearly, and you would pay hundreds of dollars. But you can pay literally just $49 for one single license, and you will have it lifetime with one single payment. And let me tell you guys, these founders are super fast. Like if you write a feature into the Facebook group, they're like, all right, we are here, and they're immediately start executing on this feature, which is I've never seen anything like this before, because we have an idea, our users have a suggestion, and they will go, and after 2 hours, all right, it's done, and they do it. Like no questions. So it's really out of this world, this speed and everything. So guys, if you really want to create stories, if you want to create stories in a way that will represent your brand like really good, and that will people actually buy for you, go to pitchground.com/ The4thBlock and buy your first license today. Because I mean, guys, you will love it. And let me show you one more thing. I will start sharing my screen. Do you see my screen now, guys?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. So this was Instagram Story Mastery 101, and we are going live every day this week. So tomorrow we will be talking why your business needs Instagram stories. In today's webinar, we covered how to create Instagram stories, but tomorrow we'll be talking about the big question, which is why. And I'm pretty sure that Udaya and Gaurav will prepare some amazing content as usual. And on Wednesday, this is particularly interesting for me because I like business. I like business opportunities. And on Wednesday, we'll be talking about how to make money selling Instagram story packages. So if you have businesses around you who are aware of that Instagram stories are actually the way to go, well, you can sell them these Instagram stories using the The4thBlock, because creating of 50 Instagram stories will literally take you, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. And they're all really high quality. You can customize everything you want. So I mean, it's a quite no-brainer to sell 50 stories in 3 minutes work for price you name. On Thursday, we'll be talking how to 10x audience engagement with your Instagram brand. And on Friday, tell your brand stories like the big name brands without hiring a creative team. So we'll get inspired from all the big guys in the industry and how they are doing the stories in their business. So that's about it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining. And for those of you who are still watching, thanks a lot for watching as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask these guys in the group. As I said, they are super quick. And don't forget to finally buy the The4thBlock license on pitchground.com/The4thBlock. You will love it, I promise. All right, so guys, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, like we try to be very responsive on our on the chat that is inside the product, and like we are available on email, we are available in the forums in Facebook, PitchGround's Facebook group. So if you guys notice any bug or like want any feature, just let us know, and then like we'll try to get it to you in like as soon as possible. So yeah, that's
if you any brands out there, any small businesses who wants to create awesome animated content out there, remember, two of us over here are on your side. We at the The4thBlock will literally do everything that is possible to make sure that we put amazing content from your particular Instagram pages to all your audience out there.
Yes.
All right, amazing, guys. Thanks a lot for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time.
Thank you. Bye.